Hey guys, this is Hamon, and welcome back to Bytesize Summer, the show where I review games that have a chilled or relaxing vibe. And today, before I get into it, I need to say this disclaimer right here. Everything in the game depicted is fiction, none of it is real. While the methods do seem simplistic, some of it is a very detached depiction of it. Some of this stuff is in fact very dangerous to do. So please do not copy any of it in real life. I know that a lot of you will not, but there are some folks that are that ridiculous. So do bear that in mind. This is fiction. It is twisted in a way to make it more fun and enjoyable. Please do not ruin it. With that said, I am going to be covering Schedule 1, a game about producing product. Now, the story of the game is that you are producing product at your Uncle Nick's house. I'm going to go with Nick because I don't remember his actual name. Although I might actually be correct, but still. One day though, or actually one night though, the police raid your house and you escape in the RV. Now you end up in a whole other town with Uncle Nick in the jail, and after collecting some stuff that he actually had left behind in that town, you find that you're not in a very friendly neighborhood, as there's apparently a local gang that doesn't like the fact that you just dropped by. So yeah, you basically have to start from the beginning and try to grow your product is in very conspicuous spaces. And yeah, basically the whole idea is you're trying to build your little product empire while having to deal with police and possibly gang members while, giving the product out to other folks in the town. Now, I will say several things. The game, graphic-wise, is not that great, but that's kind of the thing. It lends itself to that because it's like the things that will happen to people as you distribute this product. I think it helps it that it's not that graphically great. Like, bodies are very simplistic, the housing and all that is very, simplistic. Everything is simple and all that. So what happens to the people that partake of your drugs at one point or another, it makes it silly more than anything. Although I'm sure, in some cases in real life, it's not that silly. But either way, it's very interesting of how you, are able to travel through everything. It all looks nice, at least. Although it is very hard to say that when there's trash all over the ground and such. But that's more into the mechanics more than anything. What I also like about it is that, like I said, it's simple, but there's complexity to it. Like, the map is very, very broad and all that. I got lost a couple times, even though I do have a map, and it's hard to read where everything is on the map. It is hard at times, and I like that because it's like you're just a dude that just moved into town, so you have to figure out where everything is, and sometimes you're going to places that you haven't been to in the area. And I will say this, I usually like the housing that there is. I just only been to 3. I don't know how many more there is, but I'm really hoping that there's gonna be a big place at some point. But anyway, to get into the mechanics of the game, the main aspect is making the product and selling it. You start off with gardening, and when you garden, you start off with the first strain of tree stars, and these tree stars come into various other things, and once you grow them, you collect them, you package them into little baggies or little jars if you want to sell a lot of them at once, or just want to simplify the sales if they are very big. And then you put them on the market and people will put an order in, or you could take them out and offer them to people for X amount of money. And once you make the sale, there is an option to get the product back. As like in the Bethesda games, Skyrim, Oblivion, and probably even the other ones, you can pickpocket a person and take whatever is in there. Although it's a little mini game, so if you fail, you will either have to knock them out, or they will not trust you enough to have anything in their pockets anymore. So bear that in mind when doing it. Now, as you progress, you will get access to making things like brittle, which depending on how you make it, can be very interesting in the process. You just have to be very careful when doing it. Now, all of this, it's just so you can make the money and all that. I haven't gotten so far, but I'm gonna assume that at some point, given that our RV exploded by a gang, that we are going to have to deal with a gang. Because it's very odd if we just got threatened by them, that we're never gonna see them. So that's, I'm anticipating. Now, the only other thing is that you have to be careful, because when making these deals, you have, depending on the time of day, you can get in trouble with the police. Like, during the morning and partially in the afternoon, like early afternoon, you're fine. Like, there's no issue with it. But it's when you, like, start getting into, like, 6 o'clock to late at night, like, before 4 a.m. Because after, like, a couple hours, the police will start patrolling, and if they see you trying to sell the product, they will take you in for questioning and all that. But there's also the fact that they have a curfew in effect that goes on at 9 p.m. So if they even see you out past 9 p.m., they can arrest you for that as well. So bear that in mind as well. Now, there is a bonus for selling product to folks after the curfew has started. Just make sure that it's in areas that you can work with. Or you have friends that can take care of the cops for you. Because if the person is in a spot where the police can see you, that's problematic in itself. So bear that all in mind when doing it. And of course, like most of these business simulation type of deals, although in this case it's selling product, the more money you earn, the better things you can get to make product, to increase the potency of the product and all that. And yeah, it's all in good fun though. Like I said in the beginning, while it does depict the actions, it's all in good fun. It's not like it's anything to be taken too serious. I mean, some of the effects of the product are very wacky in a sense. So, bear that all in mind, and the fact that it is multiplayer just gives you better hijinks. I mean, you've probably seen videos made by like Smitty, Jacksepticeye, and various other YouTubers at this point where they've been doing all this. So, yeah, it's all in good fun. So, bear that all in mind. But with that said, I definitely recommend this game. The game is available on Steam, and that's about all I can say. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bytesize Summer. If you did, please leave a like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Check out my social medias for other things that I do, whether it's streaming, art, or ramblings, or even my animatics that I will make at some point. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time. Bye!